When you speak a foreign language, it's important to start thinking in the foreign language. But I'm aware that sometimes it's hard because we have a limited amount of input, especially if we live in a country where Italian is not spoken. So to have more input, we need to listen to Italian radio or to watch plenty of movies, or we actually need someone who speaks constantly Italian to you. But this is not always possible. Why am I talking about thinking in Italian? Because it's extremely important to know which tense to use when we speak Italian. So let's see today when we use presente indicativo. Number 1, to talk about what is true at the moment. For example, I can say sono felice, I'm happy. Number 2, to talk about what generally happens. For example, il sabato vado al cinema. On Saturdays, I go to the cinema. Number 3, to talk about something started in the past but it is still going on. For example, vivo a Venezia da 2 anni. I have lived in Venice for 2 years. Number 5, to talk about the future. Domani vado a vedere la partita. Tomorrow I'm going to see the match. Okay, let's see now which English tenses become presente indicativo. The first one is simple present. So when you say, for example, I study Italian, studio l'italiano, or just studio italiano. Remember that in Italian we don't put the capital letters when we talk about languages or nationalities. We only put the capital letter with nations. Number 2, present continuous to talk about the future. So not when you're talking about something that you're actually doing right now. For example, when you want to say, I'm leaving at 4 to go to the airport. Esco alle 4 per andare in aeroporto. Number 3, going to. So if you say, I'm going to wash my car tomorrow. Lavo la mia macchina domani. Number 4, present perfect. I've lived in Rome for 1 year. Vivo a Roma da un anno. Number 5, present perfect continuous. I've been waiting for 2 hours. Aspetto da 2 ore. Something you may have noticed is that in Italian we don't really use the subjects when we speak because the subject is carried by the verb. So if you don't know how to conjugate the verbs, here you have the rule. In Italian we have 3 classes of verbs. Verbs ending in are, like studiare. Verbs ending in ere, like vendere. And verbs ending in ire, like partire. So let's see how we conjugate it. Let's start with the first class of verbs. Verbs ending in are. In Italian we have 6 subjects, just like in English. We have 3 subjects which are singular. Io, tu, lui, lei. I, you, he or she. Then we have the plural. Noi, voi, loro. We, you all, and they. Okay, let's start seeing the first person singular and plural, meaning I and we. So for verbs in are, we would say studio, studiamo, meaning I study, we study. Studio, studiamo. Second person, singular and plural. Studi, studiate. You study, you all study. Studi, studiate. Third person, singular and plural. Studia, studiano. She or he studies, they study. Studia, studiano. Okay, let's now see verbs in ere, like vendere, to sell. Again, first person, singular and plural. Vendo, vendiamo. I sell, we sell. Vendo, vendiamo. Second person. Vendi, vendete. You sell, you all sell. Vendi, vendete. Third person. Vende, vendono. He or she sells, they sell. Vende, vendono. Now let's see the third and last class of verbs, the ones ending in ire, like partire, to depart. So first person, again singular and plural. Parto, partiamo. I leave, we leave, or we depart. Parto, partiamo. Then second person. Parti, partite. You depart, you all depart. Parti, partite. Then third person, parte, partono. He or she departs, they depart. Parte, partono. Okay, in here you have a table of these three verbs. So you can see that io always ends in o. So no matter which one is the class, if it's are, ere or ire, io always ends in o, tu always ends in i. And then noi always ends in iamo, no matter which class you're using. So for verbs ending in are, we need to remember that he or she goes with a. So lei studia, loro studiano. Okay? Studia, studiano for he or she and for they. For verbs in ere and ire, lui, lei goes with e. So lui vende, lui parte, and loro goes in ono. Quindi loro partono, loro vendono. Then for voi is pretty straightforward, because if the verb is in are, it will go ate. If it's ere, it will go ete. If it's ire, it will go ite. Perfetto guys, I really hope you liked this video. If so, please leave a like. If you want to practice Presente Indicativo, just click on the link you can find in the description, which will take you to my website where you have plenty of exercise. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video. Ciao ragazzi!
italessons.com.
Learn Italian online